This is Dolly Sods. Dolly Sods goes hard. To quote the U.S. Forest Service, beginning in August of 1943, the military used the area for maneuvers and mountain training for World War II. Many of the artillery and mortar shells shot into the area for practice still exist. In 1997, a highly trained crew surveyed the trail locations and known campsites for shells. They found 15, some of which were still live. All were exploded on site. Many more exist, and they are dangerous. This information is on their website following trail maps. This is my dog Ghost. He was returned to the shelter twice and spent enough time there that he had no adoption fee. He joined me and my friend Eleanor as we hiked through Dolly Sods. Nothing exploded, and I don't think anything has since 1997. A ton of people go backpacking and hiking there every year. Dolly Sods is interesting because it resembles Canada, but it's in West Virginia. It's not the highest point in West Virginia, but it could be the most unique. It snows year-round. It's a pocket within a maze of mountains. You have to drive and hike through some of the most breathtaking landscapes to suddenly stand in the middle of this bog. It's a bog that feels otherworldly. But as we traversed the bog, we realized two things. One, the sun was going to set sooner than we thought. And two, we had to cross a river. Maybe a stream. I've seen smaller rivers and larger streams that we couldn't see the bottom of. If we fell in, we risked hypothermia. We also didn't know what was below us, so every step was a gamble. I had to carry my dog. He doesn't like water. He weighs half as much as I do. I didn't know what was below me, so each step was a test. My legs would have been burning if it weren't for the chill of the water flowing past. I'm grateful it was a steady, soft flow and not a raging torrent. I walked across a thin sheet of metal damming the stream. Either way, I would have made it across, but this way felt more romantic. More like a poem, less like a novel. The sun was almost below the horizon. We had 2 miles at least to go, and my mind was no longer outside. It was somewhere inside of myself, doubting why I had even gone here in the first place. Part of me worried about my work camera and my backpack, but the value of material goods kind of withers in these moments. And then we had to get back to our car. I thought this would be the easy part, but the clear marked path disappeared into boulders. Even though the 6-mile hike in the opposite direction would have been hard and awful in the cold dark, it would have been nice knowing I was on the right path. I was too tired to take any more pictures. Back to the boulders. I'm not talking small little 1-foot by 1-foot rocks littering the path. I mean, get on your hands and knees and crawl over these rocks because it's the only way you're getting over. And there were layers of them. Looking down scared me. We got lost quickly. Ghost didn't. He could smell exactly where to go. I didn't trust him at first. Was he smelling an animal or was he smelling the trail? It could have been a deer trail. But eventually, I put my trust in him. Mostly. The boulders intermittently turned into solid ground, then into a dirt trail. Then a break in the trees revealed a forest road. The forest road I parked my car on. I wanted to lay down, but I couldn't. I knew I walked into this unprepared, and that was my own fault. I didn't think about how the weather would impact the rivers, and I just glanced at the trail map when deciding where to go. I don't know why Ghost is afraid of water. Ghost probably doesn't understand why I can't smell my way down a trail. But we know there's something more there. At least I do. And I know he lays in my bed, but only when I am extra sleepy. I know he periodically checks to make sure I'm following him to the door, carrying his leash in his mouth. Ghost and nature have taught me that the most important thing is to pay attention, to be aware. Your world, our world, my world changes faster than I can realize. We went to Dolly Sods because we heard it was beautiful. It was. There was something more, though. Dolly Sods is one of the many places that radiates with the power of the environment. The wind is stronger. The air is colder. The sun is brighter. I think everything I want to say has already been said, but I'm not finished. What you observe is wrong. What you think is wrong. You will be wrong over and over again, which is fine. That doesn't matter, because every time you understand your mistake, each time you fall into a river or get lost in the wilderness, you are faced with the uncertainty of what's next. I find this experience and experiences like this exciting. I want to find myself in situations where one wrong move could be disastrous. But I know that not everyone does, and I think that's what makes the future scariest for me. I know I'm a bit crazy for wanting to toe the line of safety, but if you zoom out and look at our species, we're stomping over that line. We clearly don't care whether or not we last much longer. It's abundantly clear that we are making this place uninhabitable for ourselves. Soon enough, we'll all find ourselves living in places where Earth, or Gaia, Mother Nature, whatever you call her, is going to show her power. She already is. There will be no hiding. There will be no forest roads to drive away on. And I know we aren't prepared. I've always found the messiness of nature thrilling. At least I think I have. The more I learn about it, the more I experience it, touch it, the more I feel okay not knowing what comes next. Here's the thing, my thing. I think we're too obsessed with knowing what comes next. We're either stuck heading towards a predetermined future, or we're caught up in figuring out the little details to decide what the best course of action is. Sometime not very long ago, we lost our ability to trust ourselves and trust ourselves in our environment. And I think it's because we don't respect our environment anymore.